What is going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. The DC roller coaster that we've been on for the past 3 to 4 years continues to twist and turn as we get news after news, some devastating, some good, but more devastating than not. Anyways, there's a big article that just dropped as I was at work. Gonna react to it right now with you. It says DC's Kevin Feige found producer Dan Lin in talks to take control of film and TV for superhero arm. Now, if you don't know Dan Lin, we'll get to know him in this article. We're also going to be talking about the Aquaman and Shazam move to 2023, which is annoying but not surprising to anyone. And then Batgirl funeral screenings. All right, what's that all about? We'll talk about that at the end of the video. Before we get started, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. But anyways, let's get right into it. Here we go. So I just read you the headline. This is from The Hollywood Reporter. The first sentence is about to trigger a ton of people. It's important, guys. Do not flip out right now. Don't harass anybody. We don't know what is going on right now. There's good news and there's bad news all the time with DC, and things change a lot. So let's just see what this article has to say. The move, which will see DC Films president Walter Hamada exit, comes as new Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav seeks a reset for the brand. And that's the part that's going to kind of trigger people. A reset for the brand. What does that mean? Are they just going to start brand new? Hard to believe that they will start completely fresh, given that we got news that Ben Affleck's going to return. That there's rumors that Henry Cavill shot a scene in Black Adam just recently. Again, this is all just rumors right here. Anyways, let's continue reading before I go off topic a little bit more. We'll talk more. Has the new head of DC has been found? Okay, that's kind of a typo, unless I'm reading it wrong. Dan Lin, the executive turned producer who counts hits such as live-action Aladdin, the Lego Movie, and the It horror movies, is in talks to take the role of DC chief, multiple sources tell THR. The role encompasses not just overseeing film, but television as well, with Lin reporting directly to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, according to the sources. The structure bypasses three separate division heads: Warner Brothers Pictures, Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdy, HBO Max chief Casey Bloys, and Warner Brothers TV chair Channing Dungey. Sorry about that. And it puts control of the DC in the hands of one person, which is obviously a good thing, something that they should have had a long time ago, right? Yeah, okay. Now, first of all, live action Aladdin, I liked it. You know, some like one or two scenes that I really didn't like out of that movie. Outside of that, loved it. The Lego Movie was surprisingly good, and the spin-offs of the Lego movies have been pretty good actually. And the It movies I loved. So okay, so that's cool. It says Walter Hamada's current head of DC Films will transition out of the role, according to sources. A Warner's insider says that no negotiations are taking place and no official offer has been made, although other sources say the talks are discussing salary, reporting structure, and the future of Lin's expansive production company, Rideback. If any deal does close, it would cap off months of one of the most intense executive searches in recent memory, one that faces scrutiny by rival Hollywood producers and executives as well as DC fans. Zaslav has said he was searching for Warner's own version of Kevin Feige, and famed Marvel executive who was steered in the rival comic book company's movies, sorry, I don't have my glasses on, and then later its TV portfolio into a multi-billion-dollar pop culture juggernaut. Again, this is an impossible task. Of course it is. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Yeah, so far, what we know is that they've been looking for this guy for such a long time. And is this really the person? Looking at his, kind of track record, hard to tell, really, So let's, here we go. Let's learn about Lin. Lin is a respected producer known for his smarts, and in a town full of hype and egos, his willingness to find experts on fields that are not his forte. He has worked on franchises, the Robert Downey Jr. starring Sherlock Holmes movies, the 4 Lego movies, as well as a wildly successful 2-part adaptation of Stephen King's It. His resume ranges from big offerings such as the billion-dollar grossing bright-colored Aladdin to intimate dramas such as Oscar-nominated The Two Popes. He's coming off the early August release of Universal's Joe Coy comedy Easter Sunday, and he also has TV experience, a key factor for the new position. Lin and his company executive produced the Lethal Weapon show that aired for 3 seasons on Fox, and Walker, the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger, that will begin its 3rd season on the CW this fall. He and his company are in post-production in the ambitious, big-budget live-action series take the Avatar: The Last Bender for Netflix. So first of all, right there, first I'll talk about, his his other movies. I wasn't a big fan of the Sherlock Holmes movies, and the fact that he's looking to find experts that are not in his forte, that already tells you that he's not going to be Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige is an expert in all the movies and all the comics. He's a big nerd. He's been working within Marvel since before Disney owned Marvel, I believe, or at least working on Marvel projects. And he's a big nerd. He knows this stuff. It doesn't say, it says Lin, the highlight of this, it says Lin, he's not going to let his ego take control. He's going to find people who know this stuff. But the fact that he doesn't know it himself, it seems like, I mean, it doesn't say he does or doesn't, but that's already something that tells you that he's not going to be a Kevin Feige. He's just not. So it's hard to compare, but maybe he will deliver. If he gets the role, maybe he does deliver, because there's some good stuff in here. But not, I mean, it's nothing eye-popping to me. I mean, Aladdin, I liked Guy Ritchie's version of Aladdin. But I don't know. All this other stuff is kind of just mediocre almost to me. I mean, I don't watch any of these other stuff, to be honest. But Last Airbender for Netflix, we'll see. He's also shown ambitions beyond Hollywood screen. His banner, Ride Back, has a nonprofit arm in several initiatives and fellowships that aid BIPOC. I don't know what that means. Sorry, guys. And the rising entrepreneurs. It is unclear what would happen to Ride Back, but one scenario, according to sources, that Warner Bros. Discovery would take some sort of stake in the company. Ride Back would also continue to operate as a production entity and will be run by current president Jonathan Erich. Okay, so here's this thing about Walter Amada. Everyone's excited for him to leave. I am, for sure. He's just become a polarizing figure. He's never going to be loved by the fans. And it's not like this guy has to be loved by the fans, but his legacy with the fans is not going to be a one that's very good. Hamal to build relationships with talent such as Marvel's favorite James Gunn, who directed The Suicide Squad, which didn't do very well. Obviously, it came out during the pandemic. It was pretty good, though. HBO Max spinoff Peacemaker, which is also okay. It's not my favorite DC stuff, but I mean, it was entertaining enough. Very jokey, pretty corny. But yeah, I had a good time with it. Darren loves it more than me. Hamada's tenure also underscored the public pressures that come with leading DC for the past 2 years. Hamada's found himself the subject of critical tweets from Justice League actor Ray Fisher, which put the executive in an unusual position running a film division while being publicly criticized by one of its stars. Yes, he didn't have an easy job for sure. Protecting Jeff Johns, that's where he went wrong. In the summer of 2020, Fisher accused filmmaker Joss... Okay, we all know that story. Fisher accused Joss Whedon of all this inappropriate behavior. Walter Amada kind of, he threw him under the bus, but was trying to protect Jeff Johns. That's the long story short. And supposedly, Ray Fisher says that he interfered with the investigation, and that's why Ray Fisher continues to say Walter Amada owes the people involved in the investigation an apology, which of course Ray Fisher will never get. So Ray Fisher says he's never going to work with DC again, but who knows? With new leadership, maybe we'll see. But if a reset is set to take place, who knows? But what does reset even mean? Again, no details, no specifics. So I think that's about all I need to comment on in regard. Okay. Yeah, in regards to this, it kind of quotes David Zaslav at the end. It says, "We've done a reset. We think we can build a much stronger, sustainable growth business out of DC." In an earnings call. And of course, it's an earnings call. He doesn't want to shake up the shareholders or get them all worried. So of course, he's going to say things that make us excited. We're going to have a 10-year plan. We're going to get one person in charge of it. We're going to put out quality. He said all the right things, right? And then continued to put on one of the craziest onslaughts in Hollywood history, cutting projects left and right. There's so much we haven't even covered because I've missed like a week and a half of making videos, guys. Things have been busy, but there's so much stuff that's been happening, so many shows that's been cut from HBO Max, and yeah, they label it the Axe of Zaslav now. It's kind of a crazy name. Anyways, so not finalized. Variety just confirms here that it's not finalized at all. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I have no strong opinion on it. Obviously, being a big fan of what Zack Snyder put out, it'll never be what originally Zack intended. But when they talk about a reset, to be honest, a lot of people think, hey, Snyder versus Dead, all this stuff is gone. And I like to think, hey, I like to keep an open mind right now. I don't think anything's for certain right now. No one's even hired yet, so nothing's for certain. When they say reset, do they mean like kind of reset, like that they cancel Batgirl? We're gonna start from wherever we're at. It seems like they're bringing in, you know, they're bringing in Ben Affleck back. They're bringing, they have things to work with. Obviously, they're just about to introduce the Justice Society in Black Adam, so there's a lot to work with. Are they just gonna throw us all away? Kind of hard to think that they would do that, but who knows? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that. It's a pretty crazy story, to be honest. But let's jump into Aquaman and Shazam being pushed to 2023 now. Shazam, don't really have any comment on. I think Shazam got pushed to March, and Aquaman is once again in December. So Aquaman doesn't have to go up against uh, Avatar or Wakanda Forever, which is a good thing because Aquaman. I mean, Aquaman was cool and all, but to go up against those things, I think would severely hurt it, especially for if it wants to perform nearly as good. $1 billion in their last movie, which was insane. But anyways, here's James Wan sharing new artwork. He was commenting on people through Instagram saying, "Hey, we just want to keep working on the movie." So, you know what? It's all PR at this point. But I mean, of course, James Wan's gonna say what he has to say. But this is my favorite one right here. We're gonna get to see him clash with Black Manta again, as you guys know, and if you've been following me long enough, I cosplayed as Black Manta. Just I loved his Black Manta. So Yahya Abdul-Mateen was excellent. My least favorite part of the Aquaman movie in the beginning, and this is cool. I mean, cool concept art as well. Was these lasery battle scenes right here? They didn't really do nothing for me. It was like a visually, stunning, but nah. The laser sequences, underwater didn't really do it for me. But everything else was cool. Like this adventure that Arthur Curry's going on is cool, and Jason Momoa is of course super stoked for it. He just recently did an interview on the red carpet, basically confirming. Sorry, let's go scroll up here, confirming that Ben is back. Oh, it's in my likes somewhere. I guess I can't find it. Anyways, he was on the red carpet and he basically told everyone that, hey man, here he is right here. He just basically says, hey, Ben's back. Ben's coming back. And he's super excited. He loves him. And he just trusts. He says he has to stay in his own lane in regards to commenting on what David Zaslav has been doing lately. He knows what's been going on. But he just says he has to trust and stay in his own lane and trust that they'll make the right decisions. Says he wants to keep playing Aquaman as long as we want to keep watching him. So there it is. Yeah, guys, Shazam being pushed. There is a rumor out there that he is that they are gonna add more ties into Black Adam, but that's not substantiated anywhere. I've been reading that online, but don't quote me on that. But that would be cool because one of my biggest complaints about the Black Adam movie and Shazam is that they seem to be distanced from Black Adam. All the speculation is on a Henry Cavill cameo and matchup at one point. But last thing I want to talk about, guys, are these Batgirl funeral scenes. Secret Batgirl screenings hit Warner Brothers' lot. The canceled DC film is getting funeral screenings before its footage will be put under lock and key. Very sad for all the Batgirl. I don't think this is going to catch on like the release the Snyder Cut thing. They already locked this down. They didn't even let Bilal Fallah and I forget the other director's name. They couldn't even get into the vault to get screenshots or little clips of their own movie because they no longer had access to it. So they locked this down quick, and they didn't want another Snyder Cut situation happening where fans bully them into submitting and releasing the cut. So it looks like they're gonna have funeral screenings. To be honest, I strangely enough it didn't bother me so much that they canceled this movie. I mean, it sucks for all the creatives, all the people who worked on it, but it never bothered me so much to the point where because it looks like they're fixing some of the things that were annoying me. I didn't care for Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, as the permanent Batman. Looks like they're fixing that or getting rid of that. Now we got Ben Affleck back, so I like that. I hope Leslie Grace gets to play Batgirl. I hope she gets a shot at it. But what this movie was about to do to the timeline and everything, I wasn't really down with. I mean, I was gonna watch it, and I would, of course, as a DC fan, I was gonna watch it and excitedly watch it. But in the back of my head, I'm like, man, what are they gonna do to this timeline? Are they really gonna kill off a lot of what we wanted to see in terms of where the story's going, where Batman is going, the character? So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it sucks that this funeral screenings they're a little bit like insult to injury here, salt on the wound. I don't know. I don't know if I was a part of this. I don't even know if I'd want to sit through this at this point. So let me know what you guys think about the situation. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.